Hello, 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 and welcome to Mothers, Sisters, and Daughters Coffee and Tea. I'm your host, Trina G.
I'm your host, Lady J. Welcome.
Welcome, everybody. It's great to see you guys on another Saturday. I hope you
Yes,
guys had a
yes.
wonderful Thanksgiving because
Safe,
I know I did.
staying safe. Yes, we had an
Yes,
awesome Thanksgiving here at the house. It was
awesome,
great.
awesome.
I
That's
cooked. I
ooh,
cooked.
I
Yeah,
put
I had I
everybody
had
put
some mixed
ooh.
greens, collards and mustard mixed together. I made potato salad. I made homemade cornbread, as I always make my cornbread homemade. I
Sounds
had mac
good.
and cheese. I had two Cornish game hens. It was
Ooh,
awesome.
you did a
Yes,
lot.
yes, I
Yes, that's what I'm
did.
talking about. That is what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. What
Oh,
else?
and the dressing. I had cornbread stuffing.
Mm,
Yes.
that's good
Yes.
too.
Oh, okay. You know I do my sunglasses. Let me take them
Ooh,
off.
let's see them eyes. Ooh, getting people some. Okay,
Give people what they want.
give them what they want.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was really well. It really was. Excuse the dog in the background because the little noise she hears, she gonna bark. But all right. But my Thanksgiving
You
was
know how we
good.
always doing stuff. We just
It's
you know
live, y'all.
it's live, y'all. It's
It was
live.
so good.
It's
But
live.
my
It's
Thanksgiving was
really
good.
live.
We had mac and cheese, which my youngest son did the mac and cheese. We had
Woo, go Keon.
turkey. Dude, my brother deep fried the turkey. It was honey pineapple. What else did we have? We had greens. Janelle did the greens. Janelle did the cabbage. Janelle did the dressing. I did twice baked potatoes. Um, it was supposed to be twice baked potatoes and potato salad and all that stuff, but we was like, so I did my. I shoot tired. I did my twice baked potatoes, and then Janelle did cornbread. I can't tell you what else I did because I can't. I don't know, but
You
it's a
don't
lot
even
of
remember.
food.
Don't
It's a lot
remember.
of food.
You know,
Nah,
and this Thanksgiving was a little bit different because we had to spend it kind of quarantined,
I know.
so we didn't go different places. And I usually go one other place, but I went the next day. But it was really good that I like having holidays at home, and I've always liked that when we you guys were younger, and I miss having all the children and grandchildren here
Mhm.
together. Everybody's so spread out, so I
Yeah,
miss having the grandchildren and my daughters and my sons here with us to celebrate. But one day
yeah.
we're
One
gonna
day
get
we gonna all come
all
together.
of them. Everybody's gonna get together. Yeah,
Yes,
all
it's
19
definitely gonna work.
grandbabies.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, all 19 grandbabies. So, um, outside of that, I'm thankful. I was thankful.
Oh yeah. You
To
know,
even be in the land of the living to celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah,
say that one more time.
to be in the land of the living to
Hey,
celebrate Thanksgiving.
I hope the people in the back got that. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't even catch
Give
it.
the
Don't even catch
people
it,
what
folks.
they want.
Give them what
Yes,
they
yes.
want now.
As you can see, I'm donned in red. I love everybody to know I love the season, the holiday seasons.
The holidays
So,
are wonderful. They
so
really
yeah.
are. Nice.
So
So,
I'm doing the red and the. I don't usually do red lipstick because I don't think I look good in red lipstick.
girl, red is your color.
Whew. And
Let them know.
me and red lipstick just don't get along. But I like the red sweater. But I don't know. But I had to do it. I had
Look
to
good.
put it on.
I'm repping my son. This is the shirt we got when he went to basic when he finished basic training in the army. So,
Oh, where's my shirt? It should say grandma.
moi, uh, okay. So,
Now, now let me tell you. On the intro, you seen the best grandparents in the world, which was George and Hattie Washington. Um, we'll get into the rest, but I just want to say that was my one set of my grandparents on my dad's side. And then another picture you seen was me and my late husband,
we have paused. Her screen has paused. So I don't know if you guys can still see
Uh,
her. Oh,
I don't know what.
and there she goes. I tell you what, this is what happens when you're live.
Oh, there. What you got?
Oh, you was gone. You was paused. But everybody, thank you for coming. But are you paused again? That's a good pause though. She look at her. She gonna come back to the people. Hey, Eric. She gonna come back to the people. She we having technical difficulties on the West Coast. All on the West Coast. So while we are waiting for her to come back, let's get into. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Woo, look at her. She back. Jesus.
I don't know what's going on. I couldn't hear. I don't know if people could hear me, but there was something about a connection.
Yeah,
Hey, hey.
yeah.
Miss
The
you too,
connection.
Elder. Hi. Hi.
Yeah, the connection was
I'm gonna be back. I'll be able to come.
the
Yes.
connection. Then disconnections, boy, they get to you. Woo, Lord.
Yay. I'm so glad to see him. He has such a powerful testimony. It is really great. uh we're gonna have to bring him on the show so that he could not only spread the word of God but tell his testimony and the miracle of it, because I was there when this all started. So Elder, oh yes, thank you. I know him as Eric. Now he's Elder
That's why I was like,
Overseer.
hey, Eric. Hey.
Yeah, hey Eric. Now he's out of respect for the calling Elder Overseer Bishop, but to me he's still Eric. Amen.
Yeah.
So but
Well, let's
but
get this party started because
let's get it started.
we got a good one for you guys today. So,
Yes, yes,
what
let's do
does
it.
life look like when you are single? Does being married stop you from living a fulfilling life? Does it enhance your life, or does it put a damper on your lifestyle?
It is important to know that when you're in it's important. I'm sorry. When you are in a relationship, how important is my mind?
The title.
Labels. My mind.
My
How
mind don't
important
even
are
know.
labels in a relationship? Why is America put so much emphasis on labeling a relationship? Why do we put so much emphasis on labeling a relationship? So
Hmm.
that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about relationships. Now, when we talk about relationships, excuse me, this light is bright in these contacts. I
Lord,
don't know.
did you say? Hold on.
Oh no.
You got. Hold on. Tell them what kind of contacts you got.
Are they clear?
Oh, you gotta let the people know. Ah,
What?
them her eyes, people. Them hers. Them hers.
They're just a deep blue. I don't know what color they are, but I have them right now. I'm doing this. So, like we said, we're live.
them her eyes. Those are
So
those
there's
are
some stuff
her
going on in
eyes.
the background. So we just the titles. How important are titles to you in your relationship?
Mhm.
Let's talk about it.
Ooh, let's talk about it.
Let's
So
talk about it.
our mission is bringing enlightenment to the masses of our brown skin, the royalty within our history, and the fight to educate, emancipate, and liberate the minds. How can one understand if they have not been taught?
If you have any questions or comments, just click them in on below, and we will try to answer each and every one. Matter of fact, we'll give you a shout out who you are and your question. We are not professionals so much at this, but we do this by experience. So anything you have to say will help us along the way, because this is a people show. This is
People,
our people show. People
give the
show.
people what they want now.
Give
Hey,
the people what they want. Give the people what they want. This show is about learning, laughing, loving, and living. And this is what we want to do. We got to laugh. We want to love.
yes,
And you know what? Learning is a big part of life. And at the end of the day, we got to love.
definitely, definitely.
So So
Oh, did we pause again? We got to pause on it. Ooh, ooh. Hey. Oh, we gonna come to that. Yes, we gonna get on that question right now. When she come back to the people, Nicole, she got to come back to the people. I don't know what's going on over there in California, but gonna need the people to work it out. Let's see what happens. We got to make the phone calls. This is live, you guys. Look, this is just what it is. I don't know what to tell. See, look, she gone. I don't know what to tell you guys. But the show must go on. But she gonna hop back in here though. So I need you guys to grab your coffee mugs and your teacups, whichever you like, whatever you like, and let's spill some great old tea. Thanksgiving has come and gone, but what remains is the food in some houses. Some houses, y'all heard me say that right. Some houses. Every house don't have the food left. Okay. But those leftovers can be everything if the food is good. Rest in peace to those who do not know what good food tastes like. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. We're just gonna put it out there for the people. Don't shoot the messenger. Told you. We live. Hold please. We live for the people, ma.
if something happened, I'm not on.
Nope, you're not on.
Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead, because I'm trying to get what happened.
All right, the people can hear you. She coming back, folks.
I'm trying to get back.
Yeah, it's not coming back. But yeah, recipes hello folks that don't know what good food tastes like. Those people that had the chicken with no salt and the turkey with no garlic powder. I'm just saying. We're just gonna put that out there for the people. So as we end one holiday, enter into another, let us continue to show our love and gratitude to those we love and to those who love us. We, as many people, celebrate Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, Ramadan, and so much more. And they are about the spirit of giving, family, and love. Whichever you celebrate, remember the greatest gift you can give is love. And speaking of love, she
Hey,
back. Ah! Come
I'm
on
back.
now.
I don't know what's wrong with the connection. I never had this issue. Um,
I don't know what's wrong, but
yeah, I don't know what's wrong. So I'm trying to see what's going on, but we're gonna continue with the show. And so as we
we're
end
at
this,
we're at speaking of love.
oh, speaking of love, what about speaking of love?
Let us tap into the greatness of being connected with one another, huh? There are so many avenues one could go when being in a relationship. Let us take a look at a bit of history to show the difference between then and now, if any.
Well, one thing, um, our culture has come up, and we had this tradition in our culture called jumping the broom. And when you study the history of jumping the broom, actually it started out that they would wave the broom over their heads, and this was to sweep out old and bringing in the new. So as we modernized, they began to call jumping the broom. Now we're not sure we do. As I studied this, it was a practice. The practice actually, when they were jumping the broom, was to make their marriage legal when they were slaves. However, that's not necessarily the case of that. When being slaves, you were not able to marry or have citizenship. So your slave masters allowed these marriages, but it was as a mockery. It wasn't to celebrate the love. They was mocking us in our marriages. So when we were jumping the broom, or as they swept the broom overhead, it was to ward out evil things coming into the marriage, and so you sweep things away. So as they said, old things are passed away, all things become anew, and that is what I take from when we talk about jumping the broom. It's a lot of history about jumping the broom, where it came from, who brought it here. Go do your research, and it's a lot because I just can't tell you. Read it all.
It's a lot.
I know you guys don't think I'm getting this off the top of my head. No, uh, but it's so much to jump in the broom, and we have kept that tradition within our culture because it does stand for something. It stands for freedom. You jump the broom. You wasn't free. They wasn't free when they was jumping the broom, but it stood for something. So I'm jumping into this new life with this mate. Now, when we bring it to the present, some are still jumping the broom. I didn't jump the broom. Well, I had a military wedding, but I didn't jump the broom. But I want to jump the broom. And so bringing it today and talking about relationships, this is what we're going to talk about. Now, oh, I'm sorry. Now, as we go into this relationship, grab your coffee mugs, your tea.
Yes.
And we're going to sip
Sip, sip.
some coffee and some tea on this relationship issue.
The ships. I hope y'all ready. Look,
Okay,
hold on.
I
Children, can one of y'all bring me some coffee? I don't think I'm gonna have enough.
Let me tell you, we have some ships.
Some what,
some ships need to sail. Some ships need to stay docked.
Lead them suckers dock. Don't let them go.
Don't even need to go out to sea. But we're gonna deal with different kind of ships. Relationships, friendships, childrenships, situational ships,
Entanglement
girlfriendships, boyfriendships. We're gonna deal with these ships. Sometimes people get in these ships, they don't know what they're getting into.
Ooh, the Titanic.
And then you get in that ship and you can't get out. I remember a song says it's cheaper to keep her. You can't get out. Yeah, you know. So we are going to deal with all of these different types of ships. Now, let's deal with children's ship. What's a children's ship?
The children's ship is when the parents have to create what's that term? What's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna just say safe haven to be able to communicate with their children to have a great foundation. See, when you do not communicate with your children's ship, that sucker is gonna fail and fail quickly. You wonder why your child not listening to you? Let's look at what's been going on the past couple of weeks.
Yes.
Because some people think, because they are children, they ain't got no feelings. Go get the term. They ain't got no feelings. But children do have feelings, and they may feel a certain type of way when things are said to them or things are done to them in certain manners. We as adults, we don't look at it as like that. We look at it, I told you to do something, go do it. They can go do it, right? But they may have been something within that tone that made them feel like they were not worthy.
Absolutely.
Something that small in the tone can change how that child feels. And so then that little thing can change the relationship with your child. Because if you constantly do that, then your child is going to constantly start to decrease in communication because it's going to be like every time I try or every time this or that and third, mom, dad say this and mom, dad do this, and I can't even get my words out. So what they're going to do, they're going to shut down.
And here's the other thing. When we as parents make a situation like we do something that's not right, then we tend to yell at the children. I've seen this so
Mm-hmm.
many times that we make a mistake and we want to blame the child. Like I seen something on the other day where a child was accidentally left. It wasn't his fault, but there was a miscommunication with him and the parent. And so the child went to get in the car, and the child noticed that there was clothes on the back seat. So he said, Dad, hold on. I'm going around to the other side. So when he closed the door, Dad drove off. So Dad drives off, and the young kid is upset. He comes to the neighbors. Da, da, da. We try to handle the situation. Call the parent, and so the other parent calls the dad. So when the dad gets back, the dad says, "Why? I told you to get in a blankety blank car. Why didn't you get in the car?" What he didn't understand was the child had already said, "Dad, I'm going around to the other side." So when he closed the door, now it took 30 minutes. It took somebody to call this dad on the phone to tell him that he had left his child in the, his child wasn't in the car. Now, my question, that means that parent didn't communicate with that child, because how do you ride 15 to 20 minutes and not know your child in the car?
That part.
How do you, so that means we're not communicating with our children.
Right.
Normally when our children get in the car, we say, Johnny, is your seatbelt in? Johnny, you close the door, you lock the door. For this parent not to realize that the child was in the car, and then it came back and began to um, verbally mistreat this son, that made, I'm sure, that child feel a certain type of way. So
Right.
when that parent goes to speak to that child, he's going to have this fear that he's always going to yell at me, or she's always going to yell at me. So there's times when we are wrong, we
Right.
put the blame on the child, and we have to recognize that sometimes it is our fault.
Oh, yes. And that
We
that
have
that
to
part right
recognize
there.
that we do make mistakes, but
Yes.
we can't, it's just like seeing a mother with her child at a store, and she snatching. Didn't I tell you to get over here? What you over there for? Well, why are you snatching him? Johnny, stand by me. Just stand by me. You don't have to curse him. You don't have to call him out his name. You don't have to say, that's why you just, this is one that gets me. You
Oh,
just like your daddy.
I
You
hate
just
that.
like your mama.
Mm-mm.
That's not their issue. That's your issue. So you're bringing your issue onto your child. You
Mm-mm.
transferring your issue to that child,
That
which is
negative
totally
energy.
wrong. So now
Yep.
you're going to have a childship, because that child
Mm-hmm.
is in a ship with not a strong foundation, and he's going
At
to
all.
sell off.
Gonna sink.
And it's going
No
to
floating,
definitely
no
sink.
nothing.
And so then you're going to wonder why when Johnny get 14, 15, he want to curse you out, because he heard your daddy, he heard his father, he heard his mom just doing this. We have to set an example even in our homes when it comes to our children.
Correct. Correct.
We have to, because they're watching us. We are the first teachers in our home to our children, and we set the foundation as parents.
Yeah.
And so if I'm cursing and calling my husband numb nut or idiot or stupid, I look at my child and I go, numbnut, idiot, and stupid. They grow up with that. One thing is, words hurt.
They do.
And we can create a ship with our children that is not a good sailing ship.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And the thing about it, you had tapped on when we are wrong. Some parents don't want to apologize to their children because
Oh, wow.
it
Yes.
seems like it makes it seem as if I apologize to my child, then I'm showing that I'm less than, they're not going to respect me as the parent. No, 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 no. They're going to respect you
Absolutely.
even more because the fact that you're admitting to your wrong. I find it like with my children, if I do it, if I say something and say I'm tired, I'm frustrated, and I'm not frustrated with my children, but I'm just tired and frustrated, and I ask them to do something and something is not done like I wanted to, that frustration is heard within my voice. So when I say something to them about what I asked them to do that they did not do, it's gonna come off 10 times worse. And I
Yes.
have to stop and I looked at it was the other I looked at Keon. I said, "Hey, was that kind of harsh?" He was like, "Yes, mom. My bad. I'm working on it. I'm
Right.
sorry. Because I have to, you have to recognize when you know it's wrong. When you know it's wrong, it's okay to tell your child, I'm sorry. Because then your child is going to see that and say, when they're wrong, they're going to be able to say, you know what, I apologize because I was wrong. So then now they're noticing when they do something wrong. So when they get in trouble, mom, dad, I apologize. I was wrong for doing X,
Right.
Y, Z. But
It's
if they
taking
don't,
ownership.
yeah,
It's taking
definitely,
ownership.
definitely.
So if the child see you taking ownership of your wrong, then they won't be so afraid to take ownership of their wrong in some
Right.
cases. But we have to model that. We have to model that behavior. Um,
Definitely.
you have to show that. So if I never apologize to my child, then what am I saying? That I'm always right. And let me tell you, parents, we are not always right.
No, at
Just
all.
because we're the parents, God has put us in charge, and the word tells us to train them up in the way that they should go.
Mhm.
And when they are old, they will not depart. And sometimes all of us have departed at one time, but we come back to that is good. So we are the trainer, and we have to give them tools to survive in their world. So don't have them to be afraid to communicate to you. And if they sometimes they will say stuff that you just be like, oh wait, hold on. I'm your mama. Now I'm not saying parents, you have to take your child being smart mouth to you. You have
Right,
to take your
right.
child cursing at you. You have
No.
to take your child even hitting you. That one of mine's hit me. Lord Jesus
Ooh,
help day. Now I don't understand that. A 5-year-old punch it. No, no.
ow.
I had you. But what I'm saying is we have to take not the control like that, but we have to take a part of the control to raise our children, to let them know of that. I'm a product of the return. uh, but we have to allow our children to have a voice, and is this is very important that our children
Mhm.
have our voice, because sometimes our children are being molested. They are in these situations and they don't have a voice. But their
Right,
voice first start in the home. If
in
we
the
don't
home.
allow them to have a voice in the home, how do we expect them to come in and tell us when something is going on in
Exactly.
that world?
Exactly. And even still, it's not to say even if you have great communication with your children, it's still not to say that they're not going to keep things from you. Yes, they will.
Right, of
It's not
course.
saying that. It's just saying that they're going to be more receptive to say, you know what, I can take, what my parents are giving me and how they're giving it and give back, the same, So yeah, children gonna do some stuff,
Yeah,
but
we all did.
also, like Lady J say, we gotta lead by example, you
We,
know.
we all
Um,
did some stuff.
yeah, we're not perfect examples, but when we notice when we're wrong, we have to acknowledge our wrongdoing and accept, this is what we did and correct that.
Right.
So then it'll be just a trickle effect because then they're going to teach their children in the same manner of how to accept wrong, how to know when you're doing wrong, and how to convey what you're feeling at that moment. So I think it's very important, especially to make sure you have a great relationship with your children. I have a great relationship with all my children now. I done been through some things like, whoo, Jesus, angels, Mary, Joseph, everybody. I'm gonna need y'all to come
Everybody for you.
congregate.
Yeah.
Come on, congregate and come and gather me up because I'm about to gather them. So, so we have those situations, but still, it's open communications. I have adults. My youngest is 17, so the discussions have transitioned into certain areas, but it's still to say that we left that window open for them to be okay with communicating with how they feel, what they're going through, politics, religion. I mean, it's just a multitude of things. So for that childrenship, you have to make sure that you create a great foundation so they can build upon what you have what you have given them.
Absolutely. And another thing, and then we're going to move on. The other thing is, why do children think parents have never been teenagers?
Because you have some parents that act like they never been teenagers.
It's like, they doing stuff, and you say, I know what you're doing. Oh, y'all just old fogey. You don't want me to do old fogey. No, baby, I was a teenager once. I was your age once. Let me tell you, we did some stuff. The 70s, baby, was off the hook. I'm a, I'm that,
Y'all
I'm that,
bad.
I'm that person. And there was some stuff going on. Some people were drinking. Some of us sneaking out of school, ditching, especially senior dish day. Woo, that was
Oh,
like,
look, senior this day is like a holiday. Like if you know it's gonna be done, don't even say nothing because it's just gonna happen.
right. But I mean, children today, and even with my parents, I was like, y'all didn't do this back in y'all day. And they look at you like,
Like you think we did
and
not.
so now I was looking at mine like, they just don't know. We already know what they're doing. Y'all, that's old style. Y'all just do stuff. That's way back in the day. Now, I look at the young girls and they say, y'all just don't understand what we're going through.
Like we created this platform. What are you talking
Okay?
about?
Look, anybody created this good platform was those of us that come through them 70s and them 60s. Let me tell you, baby, we were doing some stuff. But not to say, and a lot of us think our parents thought we were just straight. A lot of my friends say that, she's a good girl. But wasn't that I wasn't like a bad girl, but we did our stuff. So
Mhm.
kids understand parents have been your age.
Yes. Now,
That
now
part.
I saved a question. I saved a question that Nia asked because it is tied into relationship and title. So let me go and put that up there for the people.
Uh,
Let's go on and get the people what they want now, Lady J. Let's go
okay,
on and give it to them.
let me give you a somewhat of a definition of relationship. It's someone that you are tied to or connected to. Okay. So now when we get into the title of this, we're talking about a whole different type of relationship. Now we just gonna jump in on that. We're gonna go, but that's the boyfriend, girlfriend, and the situationships
Let's
that we're
go
gonna
on
talk
ahead.
about. so
Because we got 20 minutes. So
Nia, is that her name? She
yeah.
asked the question. She don't care about titles. Then my question to her would be, why not? Because there's a thing. I believe if you're dating, that's one thing. We're dating,
Mhm.
but when you become exclusive, and he still is not put a title on you some kind of way, my woman, my girl, my something, then I tend to think there's a miss there. Now I'm gonna tell you this. I don't use the word boo. That's my
My
boo. Let
boo,
me tell you, I
my
don't use the word
boo.
boo. Personally, you know why I don't use the word boo? I'm not your booty call.
Oh,
I believe, but when you say boo, no, that's my boo. No, I'm
girl.
not your boo. Now, if I'm your wife and you want to call me your boo, that's okay. If I got a ring on my finger to be married, I might bend a little. But just to be in a relationship and we just, as some people say now, kicking it, I don't kick it with you. I will kick you to the curb. See, the title, absolutely, overseer, the title shows an ownership to your relationship. Ownership to your
Or
relationship.
it's gonna end up being a situation.
Because let me tell you, it's gonna be a situationship. Because let me tell you, women look for a title.
They do.
We want to know that our relationship has been validated. So when I
Mm-hmm.
walk somewhere, I can say, "Oh,
This
this. No,
mine.
I'm
This
not. This
mine.
is not my friend. I don't kiss and sleep with my friend."
Oh, that's another ship.
See, when you got to get this stuff right. See, I remember one time there was a young lady. I was in a present, and I knew that she was dating this guy, and he introduced her as his friend. I'm looking crazy. She looking crazy.
Like we all confused.
You've been doing this 2 years. How she still your friend? But if we as women don't, I don't want to say demand it in like a meaningful way, but if we don't say, okay, what we're doing here, it comes a point in your life to where you're going to get too old to be somebody's friend and you still going from door to door. It's going to come a point in your life you want some stability in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Lation is some relationship. So I do believe titles are important. If I'm dating you, hey, we just dating, we just hanging out. But if it becomes,
Um, I'm trying. I'm trying to figure out which part. Which part is wrong? I'm trying to understand.
yeah, when we are dating, that's one thing.
Mhm.
Oh, we're dating. I could date here. I could date here. There's no commitment. But when we
Mhm.
become exclusive, I think more of a ownership in the relationship. So that means either, yeah, we're exclusive. This is my guy. This is how, whatever term you. This is my man. This is, but he's no longer in the friendship part of that. You have moved to another ship.
Mhm.
So then from that ship, you're going to move to another ship. So once you get to the ship and you have been doing this for 50 years, do you think you still want to be a girlfriend?
Oh, okay. I see what he's saying.
I know that's right.
Mhm.
Don't call me no friend.
I
and,
wish. I wish. I
and
wish
I'm
you
supposed to
would.
be your girl. I'm supposed to
Mm-mm.
be your girl. And I think, as women, men and women are different. Men that say, some men that say, you know, just go along for the ride, just be cool, we okay. Why we got to put all these titles on it? Because I'm spending my time. You spending your time. And
Mhm.
if it's that serious, come on. Quit quit introduce me as your friend. Now, if you want to go to the friendship zone, I could take you there. I'll show you how to be a real good friend. But we have to, I believe, it's ownership in your relationship. And as you get older and you begin to date, especially those of us over 40, 50, 60 and above, as you begin to date, it comes a point to where, kicking it, I don't, will somebody really explain that? Because somebody said to me, we're kicking it. I'm like, kicking what? You know, I mean,
They hold on. They said that in today 2020.
yeah. And you over, matter of fact, you over 60, you over 50, talking about we're kicking it.
Ah,
Go
nah,
kick a
player.
football. So, it's like people are still wanting to kick it. It's no commitment. You know, it's not really love to me. You can kick it with anybody. I could kick it with a dog. I could kick it with a cat. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
love my cat. I may love my dog, but the love of that man is something different, and you want to share that. I don't want to kick it with you, so that means I'm kicking it with you. So there's nothing, there's nothing. I'm just kicking it. So what do you do when you kick it?
That is correct. Ding,
Absolutely.
ding, and ding.
Overseer said that's another. What did he say?
Another.
Another way of saying not ready, um, or uncommitted. Most of us, we know if you're in a relationship, in a marriage, that you can live longer if your ship is sailing right.
I
If
know,
that ship,
right?
if that ship got some cracks and leaks, well, you're gonna have to pull that, and that's where communication come in.
Yeah, yeah. That's communication has been the number one thing that
Yeah,
we I think we have mentioned in the majority of our shows because communication is like the thing that will solidify how your ship is gonna go.
that's
You
right.
know, because
That's
when before you put the ship out there to sail, they have it on the dock. they check it, they make sure they go through all the paperwork to make
That's
sure
it.
that the
Wait,
oil, the
stop,
this.
stop, stop. You said paperwork. That's another one. We'll continue on that.
So they go through all the necessary documentations to make sure that that ship is ready to sail. If your communication is null and void and you decide to sell that ship, your ship will sink.
Definitely. To the bottom.
It's just gonna sink, plain and simple. There's no way around it. You can throw life rafts, all that stuff. You don't want to be going in your ship and then you got to be on life rafts for the rest of the time that you in that ship. No, you want to be
No.
able to sail comfortably. You want to be able to kick back and relax.
And know that every now and then there's going to be a wave or there's going to be something.
Mhm.
There's going to be something that's going to shake the ship. But if you build it on a strong foundation,
Look, it can rock and roll, but guess what? You're not gonna sink.
that's right. I remember when Jesus was in the boat, them folks was up there, they were scared. And he's down at the bottom asleep. What you worried for? Because if your ship got
Come
the right
on.
stuff in it, it's gonna sail smooth. Now she said something really important that I hear so many. We don't need a piece of paper. Let me ask this question.
Hello,
Hey sis,
hello.
hey Auntie D, Miss D is in the house. Let me tell you, I've heard women as well as men say we don't need a piece of paper. You've been together, let's say 12 years. We don't need a piece of paper. You done had children. We don't need a piece of paper. It seems to me everything else need a piece of paper. If a boat need a piece of paper to sail out of the country, if I got to get certain documents to sail somewhere else, why is it so hard for some people to commit to a marriage? That's the question for you all. What is the issue with the marriage? See, we got to have papers for everything. Only, but when it comes to a relationship, a committed marriage relationship, nobody wants to pay.
Look, I'm like this. If you don't want the commitment or the documentation to say that we're solidifying what we have, you live in your area, they live in their area. They got their own space because that's just a ship. You got your own ship. Because ain't there's no commitment. Oh well,
Right.
I'm committed to you, so I'm living with you. Okay, that is totally fine. However you want to, slice it, dice it, or whatever.
Mhm.
But at the same time, when it's time for you to head out that door, what papers you got to say when they say where you going? If I recall, this paper is blank.
Right.
Now, even if my paper not blank, you ask me where I'm going to oblige you and tell you where I'm going before you even need to ask me.
Absolutely.
So, when it comes to a relationship, I think with women got to be more careful about how we get into the relationship.
Oh, notice the flags, the red signs.
Ooh, let me let
Red
me, let
flags.
me tell you
Red.
something.
Red
Okay,
flags.
not saying, even though there's red flags, not saying that the man is bad or not saying the
Right.
woman is bad. It's
Right.
just saying there's going to be some things you're going to need to work on. So then you have to look at that and say, hey, am I going to want to work on these things? Because if you see the
Absolutely.
red flags and then you get into a relationship and then you're like, hold on, I didn't get into it for this, but you've seen it. So you already knew it was there. Now you have to decide, do you
Come
want to
on.
move forward
Right.
with what you've seen or not? Because if you move forward with what you've seen, then you're going to have to do some work. I hear so many people say, I don't have the time, this and that and the third. Well, then it's not for you. If you don't have the time for it, don't do it because it is time consuming. That is life. Everything you do is going to take up time. You're going to have to put energy into it. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to put your best into it, don't do it. I feel like this anytime you go into something, you put your best foot forward. If you don't put your best
Absolutely.
foot forward, what's the purpose of doing it? It's no purpose.
And the thing is, laws are changing when it comes to marriages.
Mm-hmm.
Laws are changing when it comes to marriages. So even though laws are changing and it's allowing same-sex marriages, there's a reason they're allowing same-sex marriages. There's a reason that they want us to have a piece of paper. Because when it comes down to legal stuff, if you don't have a piece of paper, it's just like a college degree. If you don't have a degree in certain areas, it does you no good. All the experience in the world is fine, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
time people want to see the piece of paper behind all your experience. You can have 50 years of experience and no paper, and sometimes people will still ask you for, well, do you have a degree? So it's with the marriage. Now everyone wants love. Everybody love who you want to love.
Uh-huh.
What I'm saying is the paper with the laws that are changing are important. It's always have been important.
Mm-hmm.
It always have been an important thing. When we were in slavery, they didn't get papers because they didn't have citizenship. So we can't go back and say, well, they got married, they didn't have papers. Well, there was a reason they didn't have papers. Not that they didn't want papers. They could not get papers because they didn't have citizenship, and most of them were not freed slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So now we are in an era, and been in an era where we do have citizenship, and we get married. And some people don't want that piece of paper and find out later something legal happens. You have no power
None
unless you have a
whatsoever.
piece of paper.
Exactly.
Period. You have to, unless that person, even if something happens to that person, it has to be written down in a will, or
Mm-hmm.
something. It's a piece of paper.
Right. Right.
It is, as Elder said, it's the proof that you are married. You are one.
Yeah, and
God,
that's
God has
what.
ordained marriage. God, this is the thing. God ordained it. And if you're not a believer, it's still ordained by your state and by your country.
Mm-hmm. And see,
Because
that's the thing, because people will be with somebody for so long, and then they feel some type of way when, say, something happens to that person, and they cannot do anything. They have no rights, no nothing.
mhm.
How can you be with somebody for so long, and then you have to watch their mom, their dad bury and do everything else for the person you've been with so long, and they're looking at you like, what? Guess what?
Unless they're a
Doctor,
loving family.
unless they're loving family, but doctors, guess what? Doctor's not gonna ask you because
Absolutely.
you're not married. They don't even ask the fiance. You're not married. They go to the mother. They go to the father. So when you look at things in hindsight, it may seem like a whole lot. Oh well, if I get married to this person, I got to go through this long drawn out process of divorce and da 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 da. Whatever, it can happen. It can be a short process if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But still, at the end of the day, you have to look at everything that you're dealing with this person, and at the end of it, you got love. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
get to spend that time to lay the person you wanted to rest how you wanted to do it, because you've been laying next to that person for 20 something years, and you know
Mm-hmm.
the ins and outs of what that person wanted, how they wanted it, and this and that and the third. You never know how a family's going to respond in something like that. You never know how a
Absolutely.
family's going to respond in
Absolutely.
something that, oh, they're in the hospital. No, they're going to go with what they think is best, not what you know, but what they think is best, because it's in their control. Now, you may have some of those families that say, you know what, you've been with him for so long that, you know what, we're not going to step on your toes. We're not going to do that.
Absolutely.
But then you
Absolutely.
cannot guarantee. That is not a guarantee, because when things happen, people change.
Woo! Woohoo! Baby. That
So
that's the
you
truth.
really going to see what happens when things happen. Things change. People change. How you thought they felt and how you thought they were. Nah. Now it's in their hands. You want to be able to say, this is the person I love. This is the person I want to be with. And I want to make sure that they are taken care of in every aspect. Now, if you got to get the paper, get the doggone paper. If you don't want to wear a ring, don't wear the doggone ring.
I want my
Okay.
ring.
But I'm just saying, don't wear it. You don't have to, wear it to show. But guess what? At the end of the day, that paper gonna show a whole lot.
Yeah.
That
And
paper
then
gonna show
it's
something the ring don't show. Cause somebody that is not married can have a ring on their finger.
and
So
it's marriage, you know, Yes, it is. Marriage to me is a very, very sacred and type of relationship. It is a lot of work. And the one thing we can't do is always go into any relationship, a marriage ship, a relationship, a situationship. Never go
Mhm.
into it thinking that it's a divorce ship.
Right.
Because let me tell you, that divorce ship is something that you also that's difficult too. Because
Mhm.
now, if you have children, you got property. But
Right.
when I went into marriage, I went in it for the long haul. Never thought of divorce. Never thought, I'm a divorce. And we didn't, thank God. We didn't do that. But I'm just saying, so many people, well, if it don't work, I can get a divorce. Well, you have already shot yourself in the foot from the beginning. You
Mhm.
have spoke that thing as it to come to you.
Right.
You speak good things. If you get married, we're gonna stay. We're gonna weather the storm. And
Right.
see, the vows are very important. And some people don't say the vows. I remember my dad said he wasn't giving me to nobody, and
Yeah.
I understood that. But those vows mean something because if I could stand before you and commit and hold to my vows, no matter what, that's different. I wish sometime they would go back to the 70s and 60s before we had to take blood tests. We had to do all this stuff before we got married. So
Mm.
you knew you were going to be, you was marrying, you get married. I got to get shots, I get blood tests. Why? Because they wanted to make sure everything was going to be okay within the marriage. Now they don't do that. And I think sometimes they need to bring it back because so much stuff is happening. But marriage is we plan a wedding and we don't plan for the marriage. It's easy, it's hard planning for a wedding sometimes. It's very stressful. You buying a dress, you worry about this, that, and the other, and you forget about what marriage is really all about. Marriage is the bonding of two people. Marriage is the bonding of a male and a female, or I say male and female, not to be politically incorrect or to hurt anyone's feeling, but marriage is between two people that supposedly love one another. And I think that is a bond. I think it is worthy of that. And ladies, we have to know that we are worthy of that piece of paper. If
Mhm.
we go to college and work all those years to get our degrees, why stay in a marriage and you don't have no paper?
Security.
you know, even in the military, I married a military man.
Huh.
You could live with a military man for 20 years. You get nothing. They want to see the piece of paper. Laws are still changing. They may get to that part, but laws are changing. I done broke a nail. Hallelujah.
Oh, Jesus. Look, we had to stop the whole conversation. Like, what?
I
Lord.
broke it. Oh, it's
Blasphemy.
not that bad. I'm sorry, people. Oh, this is so live. I done
Oh,
broke a nail.
I
I
grew
broke
my
it.
arm. I
Look,
grew
I had
my
to
arm this
look down.
morning.
Talking about marriage. I hope. Woo, I done broke it down, y'all.
Lord.
But I hope one day, maybe soon, uh, that I find no, that he finds me or we find each other,
Yeah, you find each other.
and um, I take that trip. I need something. I'm sorry, my hold on. Um, we take that trip. Katrina, could you take over for a moment? I need to check. I have to take care of something.
Okay.
I have to plug in some stuff.
So while we talking about ships, now let's go to divorce ships. Now I bring this up because I'm divorced. This is my second marriage. Shock and awe. Um, but the reason why we bring up divorce ships because You have people that are divorced and they have children. You have people that are divorced and have that long history of something and are trying to figure out how to walk the new waters of being divorced, but trying to figure out if y'all, the relationship that y'all have, because it's different. Not all the time when people get divorced is it because it was a constant fighting or something like that. Some people get divorced because they just grew apart. They're still good friends, but they just like, it was good while it lasted, but it's time for us to go somewhere else. I'm just saying it happens.
Hold
But
on. Wait. I understand that. And I understand sometimes we get married, we're young, and one person want to go somewhere, another person. How come the two grown folk can't get together and try to figure out? Not all cases, but how?
well, you already know what's that number one thing we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm. Communication.
So it don't have to be an all-out fight to get a divorce, but the smallest things can make a big impact. And say, you know what,
Absolutely.
we grew apart. Why? Because all these years I have been communicating to you, and all these years you have been ignoring it.
Mm-hmm.
And some people can go through that with no anger. They're just like, this is just this situation.
Men and women.
Yeah,
Men
men and
and
women.
women.
This situation is just not conducive to what I need in my life. And
Right.
so,
Men and women.
they go through that divorce. And so now they're trying to figure out how to tread these new waters of being divorced but having children. And
Right.
then being divorced or having property or pets. I don't know what it's like to be divorced and have pets. I ain't have nothing. It's like, we divorced. Go on your way now. Go on now.
I mean,
Go.
I would never tell anyone to get divorced.
Nah.
Being a counselor, as a pastor, I would never tell anyone to get just out. You need to leave that man, or you need to leave that woman.
Hmm.
But I would give them the tools to try to figure out what's best for them. I
Right.
think it's their decision, and for anyone, you have some girlfriends say, "Girl, if that was me, I'll be gone." But you
And they
got your
still had the
husband
same
over there
situation.
still. You telling me to leave mine, but yours over there acting cutting up a fool. You over here giving me about. And sometimes people listen to these naysayers, so to speak. So I think I would never say leave that. Now I would. Now when we talk about cases of abuse,
Oh,
that's a whole different topic. Because if this person is dragging you, putting a gun to your head, all of these things that are endangering your life and your children's life, run.
yeah, I definitely,
Just
that's
run.
one. I definitely say that, but I did
Yeah. Go to
find out that,
safety. Find.
yeah.
Don't stay in something that's killing you like that.
Hmm.
Now, if it's killing you, there's other types of killing. It
Yeah,
could kill you emotionally. It could kill you physically. It could kill you financially. And
spiritually.
and you have to remember, finances is the number one cause of most
Divorce. Yeah.
divorces. Finance. Everybody's not rich.
Hmm.
When we
Even rich
meet,
ones, look, even rich
yeah,
ones be having
rich people
problems.
getting married, so we know it can't be about the money.
Mm-mm.
But we get into the marriage and thinking, I want to live this white picket fence, this house,
Right.
and we go in there with this fairy tale. This is not Snow White. This is not Cinderella. This stuff is real, and these are real issues that we have in marriages. So we go in there thinking that, eventually I'm going to get a house. It may take you 20 years to get that house. It may take that man 20 years to grow. Well, I was reading a book, and it says when you get married, there are 6 people standing at the altar. I want someone, if you can, tell me who those 6 people are. And I'm going to wait, and we're going to continue. 6 people standing at the altar. 6 people. So if you have an answer, please chime in and let us know. And tell me who the 6 people are standing at the altar when you get married. We have a false sense of marriage. We don't know exactly, without me trying to give the answer away. We have a sense of it's going to be all roses, and then something happened crazy, and you're like, oh, this dude is crazy. What did I marry him for? You married him because you loved him. You say you married him because you thought he was the finest thing this side of the Red Sea. You like them little bow legs. You like them eyes. You know, you liked all that dog, tall, dark chocolate. That's why you married him. Then that person got up in your house and you said, oh, baby, it's not working. He decided he didn't want a job. What you going to do? And you're married.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? Now you done got married. And now that, okay, overseer said the bride and the preacher. He gave us two, the bride and the preacher. What what are you gonna do when they don't have a job? And I can say that because I experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
My husband decided he was gonna get up out the military. Boy, what's wrong with you? You know how many kids we got? Yeah, 6 kids. Where you going? Preacher, bridegroom, that's 3. And he went to work for Kmart.
I remember that.
And I thought, he done lost his mind. This man done lost his mind. And I talked to him, and he was like, no, God is telling me that, okay, I understand God is talking to you. Baby, it's not helping. And I chose to stand by his side at Kmart. We had a conversation. I talked, and the decision was his. I'm going to take care of this family. Okay. And he wound up going to the army. he re-enlisted and went into the army. He got out the Marine Corps and went to the army. But what I'm saying, I was going to stand there with him. And there was people in my family that said I was crazy. You know, people in his family said he's crazy. The good Lord, the groom, the bride, the preacher. That's 4. And 2 witnesses. Elder said you have 2 witnesses, the preacher, the bride, the groom. And who else did he say?
He said 2 witnesses, the good Lord, the groom, the bride, and the preacher.
Okay. Let me tell you who's at the altar when you get married. You have the man he thinks he is, the man he really is, and the man you believe him to be. You have the woman
Girl, you
she thinks she
showing out.
is, the woman you think she is, and the woman she really is.
Oh shit, you showing out today. Look now. Look now. We ain't got it long enough. We ain't got all this time. Look.
I'm gonna repeat that. The man he think he is, the woman you think you are. The man you think he is, the woman he think you is, and the man he really is, and the woman you really are. Those are the people standing at the altar.
Let me tell you something.
Those are the people that is at the altar. Because we have this warped sense of thing in our minds of when that man is standing up there in that tux. When that man is standing up in that tux, we don't know who he is because he don't know who he is.
Ooh.
We just think we know who he is.
Look here, Lady J. Come on now.
And that woman sitting up there looking all pretty and fine, baby, you ain't live with her. You don't know who she is. You only think you know who she is.
Come on.
And when the tux come off, that gown come off, and you guys wake up the next morning, who are you? I am now a married man. I am now a married woman. But who are you? Quit going into these marriages not knowing who you are.
Come on now.
I'm going to say it again. The man he thinks he is, the man he really is, and the man you think he is. The woman she thinks she is, the woman she thinks she really is, and the woman that she is. Those are the people there. There are 6 people at that altar. And we don't know each other from Adam.
We don't. Let me tell you something. We don't, because like I think it was in I can't remember what episode of our show, but we were talking about relationships, and we were talking about how that men and women try to they put on the facade
Oh,
because
perpetrate.
they want to impress the man.
Yeah, like
The woman want to impress the man want to impress the woman, right? So you're gonna put on your good. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
When we go out, let me tell you something. Just like when we go out, we put on our good. Let me tell you, I put on my good now still. Okay, not to catch nothing, cause I just want to look good. But anyway, but when we go out and you're single and you doing or whatever, you trying to find that body, you be like, you want to get it all right because you
Laid like eco style.
look, you want them to see you. But then how about you just go out with no makeup
Whoop,
and your hair and your fro and
whoop.
your dress down clothes
Lord forbid. Lord forbid.
and find the one that's gonna see you. See, that's the one you want to catch. You want to see the one that's gonna see you without you being all dolled up and everything. See, they just want to see what looks good to them. Everything that looks good to you is not
It's
good
not
for
good
you.
for you. Come on now. Not good for you at
Just
all.
because that chocolate cake is moist and wonderful and sweet and so everything with that ice cream on it is just amazing. What is that sugar gonna do to your body?
Mhm, mhm.
Now, how many sit-ups and jumping jacks and running are you gonna do to run off all that of what you ate? You're gonna have to put in a lot of work.
A whole lot of work.
But if
Yes.
you show up just how you are, not trying to impress them, but just be yourself, what kind of work you gonna have to put into that? All you gonna do have to be yourself, and everything else is just a bonus for him because he's not realizing what he's about to get.
Right now, while you show up, being yourself, don't look like no fool.
Look, I put my
You
afro
know,
in with no
because
makeup and go about my business.
now I'm just my daughter tell you I am like girly girl. I love all of this. I love it. I played ball with stuff. You
I
know
did too with my nails.
you know I love being a woman. Thank God he blessed me to be a woman, and I like that. And so I try to look my best and present myself all the time. Like you see me. Y'all gonna make me tell the truth. So I believe in looking good. What I don't believe in is sitting in front of the man and so just acting like, hey Kiki,
Hey, sister.
acting like I got it like that. I'm all this and I'm all that, and there's nobody
Mm-mm.
better. Let me tell you something. There's always another woman better. There's always something else, but you have to bring a little something else to that table
Look, a little
besides your
spice
look,
in it.
your
Lord,
body,
come
your
on.
hair,
Hmm?
your eyes,
What?
your lips.
Say it
You
again.
have to bring more than that to the table
Yes, ma'am.
because all that is the outside. But if your inside is jacked up, let me tell you that booger gonna look at you and know that your inside's messed up. I don't care how your body is,
Go ahead,
how
man.
how your body is. Yo, that man gonna know if you are just something he want to lay with or if you're something he want to have life with.
Yes, because we are visual creatures,
Yes,
men
I
and
like things that
women.
look good. Woo,
We things look good. Ooh, we
baby,
like whoop. Things that look
they
good,
call me
smell good,
Pocahontas.
sound good. You know, all them good goods, right? All them
Yes,
good goods. But
yes.
sometimes you gotta kind of like, yeah, let's see
Ladies,
what's under
I
there.
know it's hard. I know. Look, let me sit up. Let me preach to
look,
myself.
look at the people now.
I know it's hard to pass up tall, dark chocolate. I know it's good. And he may have a good job. He's looking good. He got a decent car. He's not rolling around in a putt putt.
And a
You
pinto.
working. And y'all look like the power couple. And that joke ain't a bit of good. Not for you anyway. For somebody else.
Somebody else.
you know and we look at that because we all want to look good. We want
Yeah,
our mates to look good.
we do.
And I tell women, I said, you know what, you can find a man who don't know how to put it together, but he's a good man. All you got
Yeah,
to do is
there you go.
him dress him like you want to be dressed. One thing my late husband was, he will like see something and say, I like you in that.
Mm-hmm.
Now we would have to agree on some things because sometimes his taste just wasn't good. But
And them
but
suits, though.
oh, he was on point. But so you have to be yourself
Right.
in and be good with your the skin you're in. I'm dealing with a little issue that it just seemed won't go away, and so I developed a little bit of a pouch, and I was having problems because I never had that. I always, but I am comfortable in my skin that I'm in because
Duh.
I'm not trying to look like I'm 21.
I am. No,
I'm not.
no, I'm playing.
I'm not trying to look like that. I'm doing good where I am. But we all want to look good. But what they want to see is the realness,
Yeah,
your realness.
that's the meat right there.
Being in ministry, uh, one thing men think is women who are in ministry are not women. And they take another look. They take another look at us different. If you
Black
walking
coats.
with God, if you're a woman and you say you saved and you Christian, the men kind of take another look at you and look at you another way. That's okay, because maybe I'm not for you.
Right.
But however, there are those men that say I'm God fearing, and then you get into a marriage with them and you wonder, oh no, I'm fearing you.
Look.
So we have to, you don't have to look like you in distress when you're going on a date, but look good. I
She
remember
said in distress.
what she say?
Hold on, you said in distress. I'm talking about them looks calling 911.
You're looking like you're in distress.
But if you don't know how to get it together, then it's understandable. Talk to
It
your
took it took
friends.
me a long time. I learned from my daughters. Let me tell you, my daughter tell you I was plain Jane. I was. I was. Did you see on that picture she showed? I was
Look,
I was
nah.
really plain. I was a plain Jane. I didn't do makeup. I love it now.
You know what? We never really did makeup until
No,
we got
no,
older. Actually,
yeah.
as a matter of fact, I had Keon, and I still wasn't doing makeup
I was
at
in my
all.
40s. I was in my 40s
So,
when I started wearing makeup. Not that I needed it. I just liked it. It was new. It was like, oh my God.
hmm
And I started with I think eyeliner and lip gloss. It was hard for me to wear lipstick. And then as I evolved, I got into the other portions of it, and I just love it. I could take it off. I could run to the store with no makeup. I'm not going to the store without
shoot,
my eyelashes though. I
I
can't.
do. Well,
I'm
I
not.
don't do eyelash.
I'm. These are like credit cards. I take them everywhere I go.
Mm-mm. I can't do eyelashes. I spend too much crying trying to put on eyelashes.
No,
So look now.
I love eyelashes. I remember when I was at my church, one of my church, and my member, I walked in with eyelashes. She said, "What is that on your eyes?" and then she, God bless her, she rests in heaven. She passed away, and next thing I knew, she was wearing eyelashes. And so when she passed away, I had asked her daughter. I said, "That's why I slipped imaginary tears. That's what we do." And I asked her, I said, "Did you put her eyelashes on?" And she started laughing. She said, "Yes, I did." So,
Look.
but it's good for us to look good, but we don't want our outside to overpower our insides.
Right, right.
I want to have the love of God and the love of people shine. So when I'm sitting across from this man, he could just feel all of that. He just
hmm
absorbs all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely.
And so you have to, okay, you have to use etiquette when you eating. You don't grab a piece of chicken, you know,
Yeah.
you don't pick up stuff with your hands unless it's in your culture to do so, or unless you're eating something. So we do put on certain things. We are on a date. You
Right.
do certain things, especially a first date.
Of
Um,
course.
that you're looking forward to. Maybe your first date was skating. Now you're going to a nice dinner. Well, you're gonna spruce it up. You're gonna, hey, let him see me. I can skate. Now let him see
hmm
me. I'm sorry. Let him see me. Oh,
She having
I'm having issues here with my cord.
Your cord
Let
is
him.
over there being bothered.
No, it's not plugged up. Let him see me.
Oh well, come on now.
Let him see me. You know that I can dress up. I can go
Hmm.
to a football game in my pumps and still enjoy the game. I can go to a basketball game in my pumps and still enjoy the game. I could go. I could even go in sneakers. I don't do sneakers unless I'm exercising. I don't like sneakers.
You know what, Ma? I
What?
noticed that for a while I did not have an ounce of sneaker, tennis shoes, or nothing. Only when I was doing sports in high school and in college.
Come here.
Uh,
Come here.
After I stopped doing that,
Uh
I
huh.
was looking for a pair of tennis shoes or sneakers or something,
Uh huh. Come here.
and I was just like, I need to go buy some tennis shoes, some something. I didn't even know what it looked like. I'm not a tennis shoe person.
Okay,
But
I know.
now I got more sandals and everything else and less heels. Jesus fix it.
And my Camille. I'm sorry.
Seemed like her stuff over there about to die.
It is.
Told you.
Hold. Okay, hold on. Keep
That's
talking
that's
about
nothing about to say
looking
bye
good.
bye. See you later.
Hold on.
But no, give the person what you want them to give you. If you want that person to be authentic and true to themselves, do the same. Again, like Lady A said, it's nothing wrong with sprucing up and getting dressed and feeling good. I love to spruce up, get dressed, and feel good. That's for me. But then also, I may put a little cherry on
Wait,
top, for my husband
love is
or
not
whatever.
in.
But at the end of the day, you attract what you give. So if you giving off a certain vibe, guess what? You're gonna get that same thing. If you giving off Dollar Tree, you're gonna get Dollar Tree. Okay? If you getting off Dollar General, you're gonna get Dollar General. Now, if you giving off Dollar Tree, but you looking for Dollar General, it just don't add up. You have to match what you're looking for. You have to say, I want to add to this person. Now, I'm not saying something wrong with Tree or Dollar General.
Let me
This
tell
is
you.
in retrospect to
Let me tell you.
relationships. You want to be able to get back what you're trying to give. So if you're like, I'm authentic and I want this man to be the same, communicate that to the person that you're talking to, whether it's a friend, friendship, relationship, whatever. Communicate those things. And we're always going to talk about communication because communication is
It's
a huge,
key.
it's the key to everything.
It is the key.
Because we as people, that's what we do with each other on a daily basis. We communicate, whether it's social media, on the telephone, email, at home, we're all out at work, we're always communicating with people. So understand communication is always key. Even when you're just your hand movements, your motion, that's communication as well, people. Understand that.
Right.
So when you're talking or your eyes, because I have a face to where if I'm upset, people are going to see it in the face. It doesn't lie. Sometimes I have to be aware of that, so I don't take that out on other people. So you have to just do those things that you want to attract. If you want this guy to be baller, shot caller, what
You
you gonna
better
bring
be.
to the
You
table?
better be ballette, ballette.
What you gonna bring to the table? Because
Right.
I feel like this as a woman, be able to take care of yourself, right? Take care of yourself. So when that man comes along, he's just gonna add more to you, and you're gonna add to him. So if all else fails, not failing as in relationship fail, but say something happens, Lord forbid something happens, or he can't be baller because he done got hurt or something that happened at the job. Then what you gonna do? You're gonna have to take. You're gonna have to take over. Say, I got this. Let me do this for you. But if you're not in that mindset to where you say, hey, this is where I am, and if this happens, I'm able to step up and do what I need to do, don't look for that. Look for exactly what you're giving. If you can't do it, then look for somebody that can't do it either. So y'all can't do it together.
Right. Bring me in.
But make sure you're in the position to say, if all else fails, I got him. Or with the man, if all else fails, I got her, because she can be a strong independent woman. Now, strong independent woman does not mean that a woman don't want a man. Understand, there's a difference between want and need. You want me to add that one? There's a difference between
Yeah, I turned
want,
the other one off.
yeah, there's a difference between want and need. Women and men don't need the other. It is the want that matters. You want that person. You don't want to need that person. You want that person. You want that person to want you, not need you. Because then if they need you, you're always going to be fixing everything. Because they needed you, so you came into their life because you thought you could fix this situation because they needed you at that time. You're not there to fix their situation, you're there to enhance their situation. You can't fix nobody, but you can help and enhance what's going on in
Oh,
their life.
only person you can fix is yourself.
Self. That's it. That's all.
You can just fix yourself. Remember, in the beginning, God created man and woman. And Adam, the woman was taken from his rib. And so therefore, there's a saying, when Adam looked up at her, he said, "Oh, you sure look good." And that's what we want. That thing, that good thing,
Mm-hmm.
that good thing. We are the good thing. Woo! We are the good thing. And so that means we're good in every area. Every area, ladies.
You heard that,
Don't
right?
shuck it. Don't shuck and jive.
Air.
Because I've always heard what you won't do. No, anyway, that's a joke.
Yep, God take care of the needs.
Yeah.
Yes,
So it's we all want to feel needed
mm-hmm.
in our relationship. We all want to feel needed. But you know what? I often say, I don't need a man to pay my light bill. I don't need a man to pay this or that.
Right.
I don't need that. What I need is a partner to come together and we do it together.
Together, yes.
If I already have it and he already have his, that's cool. But if something happens on his part, I should be able to help him through. If something happened on my part, he should be able to help me through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's about when you're talking about relationship. Now, one thing we didn't talk about is that situationship.
The situationship.
Let me tell you, there is a such animal as a situationship.
There surely is.
And I said, Lord, I don't even know what a situationship is. It's a situation in a ship. You got a situation in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called a situationship. But how many of us have situations in our relationship?
Ooh, Jesus. Come on.
What's that other term they say? It's complicated.
It's complicated.
So we have a complicated ship. But
That's complicated shit. God, dog.
yeah, marriage, let me tell you, marriage is not easy. Marriage is complicated.
It is.
Any situation in marriage is a situationship. It's how you handle the situation while you're in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna handle? Are you gonna sink and then you're gonna swim out?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you gonna try to stay afloat and hold on? We're doing all kinds. Look, we got all kinds of crazy stuff. My stuff was dying down, so I switched. So, what about a situationship? Anybody have a situationship they want to talk about?
Look, come on, people. We all got
people.
Okay, let me tell
we
you.
We all have had situations. I never had a situation. I don't think I've been in a situationship. Let me think.
Everybody been in a situationship.
No, I don't think I had a situationship.
A marriage got a lot of those situationships.
Yeah,
Agree on what to do with the
I had
children.
some dating ships. I had some
Oh,
dating ships.
that don't.
Yeah, and that didn't go very well. Partly, probably because me. Hey, I'm just be real. Sometimes I could be kind of.
You know, that was one thing I had looked back on when I was younger and how I was. It was let me tell y'all. Let me get the people something to think about because
Give
y'all
the
gonna think.
people what they want.
Look, get the people what they want now. You guys are gonna think about this when I say this. When you look back on when for those who are married, when you look up back when you were single and the stuff you did not deal with, you refused to deal with some things because you was like, I am not dealing with that. That is not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna need you to get your whole life and get it together, right? Right? That's what we say, men, women. You know, that's what's been said. But then when you get married, those things you said you wasn't gonna do, what y'all doing?
Y'all doing it.
Cause I know I did. I was like, yo, hold on. I wasn't sensitive like this. What's going on now? I
Right.
wasn't. No.
But here's another thing. Women, don't start something you are not going to continue to do.
What they say, don't start now, won't be none.
If you are picking up his shoes, ironing his shirts for the last 5-6 years, and now on that 7th year, you think you tired, baby, you shouldn't have started doing it from the beginning. Because guess what? They look for you to do that. That's how you got them. Look, that's how you got them.
Yep,
See,
look for that.
you got them doing that. See, I got mine. I was playing softball, so he see me all kinds of crazy.
He see
I was playing. I was playing ball. I didn't have time, I was playing ball. But the way, all joking aside, the way you start off your relationship, your situationship, your friendship, your whatever ship you are in, don't do stuff that you know that you're not going to do, or you know that you're just doing it to get it.
Just to get,
Same thing with the men. Men, if you start bringing her flowers, taking her out to dinner, whining and diner, and then you get married,
and you don't do nothing,
and you don't do nothing else. That is not going to make your life happy, and definitely not your wife.
So nice.
So don't start stuff, and you know that you're not going to continue to do it.
Don't start none, won't be no.
No. Now, of course, we get tired. Children come along, and we have to find the time. But that's important.
Right.
Take your time out with your mate.
Yes. Hold on. Say that for the people in the back.
Take your time out for your mate. Intimacy. Intimacy is important.
Ooh, she does. I can't throw nothing. She done said it. Let me tell you something now. Don't get it twisted. Intimacy is just not about sex.
Ooh, what you say? Now.
Hold on. Let me tell the people in the back. Intimacy is not just about sex.
Let me tell people in the front. Intimacy is just not about sex.
Look, man.
No, it's not. Baby, I could walk on. Let me tell you, intimacy can lead to some bedroom stuff.
What you?
Let me take a walk on the beach at night. He holding my hand.
Huh?
I could be washing dishes and he come in there and just look at me and give me a little pat. Baby, intimacy. That's intimacy. See, intimacy starts before the actual bedroom act.
There you go.
Intimacy leads you to that point.
Uh-huh. Y'all hear my dog? She trying to say something for the people.
She agreeing. So, see, we get it twisted. We think intimacy, a lot of us think or have thought, intimacy starts in the bedroom. No, it's the way you look at him. It's the way you Stroke his back. It's the way you may stroke his ego. It's the way, my husband used to walk. I used to say, "Oh, Lord, I thank you."
Look, come on
Yeah,
now.
Lord. Woo! Yeah, I thank you.
The little things.
And he would come in and he might kiss me on my shoulder. That's intimacy. Holding hands, intimacy.
I always say, I'm not gonna say the actual word, okay? But I always say it is good to be mind screwed.
Yeah.
It's very good. See, the way I say it sounds so much better, but
No, you are not saying that on this show.
I'm trying to keep it straight for the people now. I'm trying to keep
Elder Getter. Elder Getter.
But
Get her.
y'all know what I'm saying. But it is good to be mindful because the mental aspect works everything. Yes. Your brain sends signals throughout your body, telling your body what to do and how to do it.
Let me tell you, yes, I am saved. I am a pastor. I'm a preacher, all of that. But let me tell you, I speak truth when it comes to intimate and other stuff. It's real. It's what it is. And this is what we need to tell people in the church. Intimacy is not going in there, laying down and we got married and we just going to lay down and have babies.
Nah.
What happened when you can't have no more babies?
Hello. Tell the people, what y'all doing? What y'all going to do?
What happened when he stopped working?
Oh.
What happens when she no longer?
Come on.
You have to know about intimacy. See, you don't stay married 50, 60, 70 years and don't know about intimacy. She showed a picture of my grandparents on the opening. They stayed married over 65 years. There was some intimacy there.
Mm-hmm. And that's so
you have to learn the art of intimacy.
Ooh, what's that word? The what?
The art.
Of
intimacy.
Come on now. Look, look, I gotta write this down.
The art of intimacy.
We're gonna talk about that.
And there is an art to being intimate with your mate. You can rub her feet, stroke her hands, baby.
That what is that? The small part of her back.
I am a phenomenal woman, phenomenal leash.
Yeah.
The stride.
Come on.
Just me walk past him a certain way, it's gonna get his attention.
Look.
Come on now. Intimacy is important to any relationship, especially your marriage.
Yes.
And I know that sometimes we get tired, women. I'm not going to fake anything. Sometimes you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
I was an at-home mom. I had all them children. I was tired.
Right.
Tired. He come home from work. Oh boy, don't look at me. I ain't got time for all this. I done been washing dishes, folding clothes, changing that, I ain't got time. And I remember the first lady said to me, she said, you're not supposed to say no to your husband. I looked at her like, you got the wrong one. I'm tired. I don't have time for all that. And she took me to the scripture. I was like, oh, Lord, for real? So you have to learn some things. And intimacy is a big part of any relationship in your marriage. It is so important.
Yes. But you have to
so important.
Every being of that person, not just
communicate.
The communication, like that is the great thing. And let me tell you, men and women, when communication is in effect, right? Your spouse is communicating, your significant other is communicating to you. Listen. Don't listen with a closed mind and don't go into it thinking like, oh no, here we go again. Actually listen. And then if you cannot understand what they're saying, ask those questions like, you know what, baby? you said XYZ. This is how I took it. But can you please explain to me in another manner of what you mean so I can make sure I have a clear understanding of what you're saying? Because a lot of miscommunication happens because the other partner is assuming what their spouse is saying or their significant
Mm-hmm.
other is saying versus asking what they actually mean. Communication, if you just sit there and just let it happen and assume, most of the time you're going to be wrong. Like 100% of the time,
Right.
you're going to
Assumptions are not good.
assuming that, oh, well, this is what they
Right.
mean. And if you already know your communication is jacked up, then you already know whatever
Right.
they're saying and what you're thinking they're saying, it ain't even right. It's all wrong. So you got to figure that out.
And even when it comes to intimacy, you have to communicate what you like and what you don't like.
Woo!
How do he or how does she know what it is that you like?
It's
If
not.
you grew up only knowing one thing is one way, and then you get married to a man who just like to explore,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know these things until you have a conversation. And a lot of times when we get married, especially when we virgins and we get married, you have no clue. All you know is what you know. But it's good to communicate your likes, your dislikes in intimacy. So
Yes.
it make better for your marriage and it make better for your relationship.
Yes. And
I like something that Steve Harvey said. Steve Harvey, he's so funny to me. He said there was this older couple on the show. They had come back together after many years, and then they said they met and they was together one night, and the next day they got married. You know, as we get older, sometimes we feel like we should be inhibited, and we should be able to explore.
right.
And Steve Harvey always give those over a certain age a pass to go explore. He always said, "Nah, you too old." And by the time you get around 90 days, you might not have 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in other words, what he's saying, as we get older, we have to find other ways of intimacy to please our husbands, our spouses, our mates, our partners, because it is an important
Mm-hmm.
part. Holding a hand could be better than ever getting in the bed and being that part of intimacy.
Yeah.
Just holding a hand, just sitting down, watching a crazy movie, whatever is cool. You never know. But if you don't have that conversation with your partner,
Right.
then you're going into something that you don't know what he likes. He don't know what you like. He don't know what you don't like. Things like that. So intimacy plays a big part
Yeah.
in a relationship,
It does.
but not as big as the loving part.
Oh my gosh. That, and you know what? When she says love, that it is not just you saying the words every now and again and showing it every blue moon. Your
Right.
action plays a huge part. You can say you love somebody so much, but if your actions don't match up to those words, it's not going to mean a thing at
No.
all. Again, we are visual creatures. We can hear it all day, but if we don't see a thing,
Right.
it's
See,
not saying much.
right. You have auditorio learners, people that learn by just listening. You
Yeah.
have people that learn by seeing,
Mm-hmm.
feeling,
Yeah.
touching. We have to know these things. And we have to know sometimes our partners don't hear us very well.
Right.
So therefore my actions, along with not hearing me very well. So I got to speak and I got to show action
Mm-hmm.
as I speak. So like she said, if you say, I love you, okay, and I don't do anything for you to show you that,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Oh, and don't do things just because you checking the block saying I did it and I said it, so they should be good. Because your energy
Right.
transfers in whatever you do. So if you're saying I love you and then you go do something, but your energy is speaking, I I really ain't want to do this. That's going to be felt through all of that. And then you're going to get the snap back up. Why did you do it in the first place when you didn't even want to
Right.
do it?
You didn't want to do it.
So why do
Right.
it? I say this: if you don't
Right.
want to do it,
Lo-
do not do it. But do it, and when you
Love
do
is
it,
unconditional.
very much so.
Love is unconditional. I love you because you wash the car. I love you because you mop the floor. That's a condition placed on love. Love is unconditional. I love you just because. I love you because I like the way you walk. I love you because you come in. It's unconditional. Quit putting conditions on your relationships.
Come on now.
Once you in
I
it,
got any more left?
you want him to be A, B, C, and D. Don't put that condition on him. Don't put that condition on her. Love them as they are. You marry them that way. Now, mind you, we might have put on a little bit of weight in the marriage. Unconditional love say, I don't see your weight. Unless you're unhealthy, though. But if you feel it's unhealthy, then you help. But quit putting conditions.
And when you listen to
on it,
the relationships, when it goes to marriage and they say in the vows through sickness and then health. Let me explain something to you.
Right.
Women, I'm speaking from women's standpoint, women go through a lot within their body. Some things cannot be explained or understood.
Menopause.
Let me tell you something. When this stuff happens, men, listen, men, do not take it as a joke. The reason why I say that is because that is mentally draining for the woman. It is mentally draining and mentally tiring because guess what? We don't want to go through the crap. We don't want to go through it. We don't want to deal with it. We don't want to feel it. There's some days we just want to walk and not have to worry about nothing. But when we're struggling with those things, men, that's when you have to be the most sensitive and say, you know what, I may not understand exactly what you're going through, but how can I ease whatever it is you're dealing with? How can I better deal with whatever it is you're dealing with? Give them that extra cushion to say they can lean on you without feeling like they're a burden. Because a lot of the times women will start to feel like that because it's like, okay, I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling real crappy right now. And to men, it's like, dang, you always feeling like this.
But this is relationship. These are things that you're going to go through in marriages and relationships. Let me tell you, menopause will jack a marriage up.
You're hot, you're cold, turn the air up, turn the air down. I do not want to eat that. No, I don't want that. No,
you are PMSing all the time. Your body is going through some changes. How do I know? Because, I'm at that age. I think we have said it several times how old I am, but I'm at the age to where I'm over 60.
Come on now, somebody.
I'm over 60, yes.
People how good.
And so I'm at that age where I'm like this, and other things are happening in my body. And it's funny because my pastor, I was in church, I was fanning, and he said, Prophet Jane, you hot? I need to turn on the air. And somebody said, she going through. I said, y'all just put me on blast. Look, but not only the hot flashes and all these things, even through your marriages and through your relationship, all our bodies go through changes. The man's body go through a change. Men, I don't think are as vocal as women are with theirs. I'm not sure. Maybe a man could tell me. A man over 60 could tell me. But our bodies go through changes. Some of us don't look like we did when we was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
You never lied.
I don't have that weight. I was weighing 137 pounds when I got married.
Oh, say that.
I don't weigh that no more. So that's okay. But I'm good with the skin I'm in. So there's changes in the relationship, and there's changes as we marry young, and as we get older, we change. We have children, we change. Our dreams become different. Our visions become different. the way we may look at our spouse or our partner become different. We look at you different. And those are things we have to work through within our marriage, within our relationships. We become different. Let me tell you, the biggest difference in one relationship is grandparentship.
Ooh.
That is now, honey, that'll change you forever. And your children be looking at you like, she didn't do that with us.
You never lied. Be like, hold on, what
So
is
being
going
a
on?
grandparent, let me tell you, it's the most wonderful thing in the world. And it's different. But that shit right there is something. But we all change. We change emotionally, we change mentally, we change physically, and some of us change financially, good or bad.
Right.
It's a change. And so when these changes come, we have to be ready to have the tools
Right.
to meet each challenge,
Mm-hmm.
to make our relationship, to make our marriage stand and withstand the storm, the rain, the earthquakes, the tornadoes, the hurricane. We have to be able to stand. Donnie McClurkin sings the song, Stand.
When there's nothing left to
Stand in
do.
times
Oh God.
like these. We have to know how to stand in a marriage. Just because we get a bump in the road don't mean we have to go for the divorce court.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you about divorce. This is a sidebar. Divorce don't happen when you get the piece of paper. Divorce happened a long time ago. If you're married and you said you just not getting divorced, your divorce was a long time ago. The separation happened long before you got to
That
divorce court.
disconnection was already there.
It was
Already.
already there. So we have to excuse me. We have to recognize the disconnect. And if we could recognize and take ownership of our disconnect, maybe we could somehow mend some
Yeah.
of these relationships back together.
Correct.
Not all of them, but some of them. Right now, the divorce rate is very high in our country. And
Quarantine.
most and most African American people, Black people. I like saying Black people. Most Black people, are doing are going through that. But if we communicate,
Yes.
and I just think communicating your likes and wants, and as we change in relationship, don't try to leave your mate. Change, take them along, take her along with your changing. We may not understand your change, but some kind of way we try to work it out.
Right.
Because family is important. And
It is.
family today is different. Family looks different today, but
does.
it's still a family. It's still relationships. And they
However,
all look different. But we have one thing in common is that we are bonded together by love, by unity.
mm-hmm.
And whatever your situationship is, your friendship is, your boyfriendship is, your girlfriendship is, whatever the ship is, communicate. Because let me tell you, you can't sail no ship without a captain.
Mm.
That captain is going to be communicating to some folk about where he is, where he's not.
Right.
He's going to coordinate. I'm here, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
He also have extra people on hand if he needs them.
Oh,
That's on the cruise ship. That's on any kind of ship. I didn't say no boat. You're going to have people. So he's going to communicate what he needs from his people. So marriage takes work. It takes togetherness. We're not going to think the same.
No.
But we all can get on the same page.
Yeah, and
we can get on the same page.
To add to that, understand that yes, it's going to take some time, but it's okay to be different. It is so okay to be different, because I feel like difference brings something unique to your relationship. It's okay to be different, but also just continue to try to notice what you're doing, or notice what is going wrong, and notice the disconnect, because so many people go through life and they see it, but they don't want to change anything. And I say this: do the change because you want to do the change. Don't do the change because the person wants you to change, because if the person wants you to change and you just do it because they want you to change, then it's not going to do anything for you because you're just going to revert right back to what
Right.
you were doing from the
You're
beginning.
not gonna be happy. You're
You're
not
not,
gonna be happy.
you're not going to be happy. So when you change for yourself. Do better for yourself. So therefore you can do better for everybody else that's in your life or around you in whatever ship that you're in. You know what I'm saying? Because when you need to maneuver that ship, you got to have some organization.
Hey.
You got to know what's going where and how it's going. You got to know what's going on when you get ready to move that ship. So if you can't maneuver your marriage ship into the next chapter, that means you got to figure out what's going on with self.
Mhm.
Notice what's going on in your marriage, but then figure out what are you doing. Because I always say, just because there's a divorce, it's not just, oh, it was all on the man.
Right.
Look at both.
Absolutely.
Look at both
Absolutely.
aspects. Because a woman
Absolutely.
can be like, I was tired and I just gave up. So with her giving up, did you communicate you was tired? Did you
Mhm.
say to this man X, Y, and Z? And then you look over here, hey man, when she said this to you, X, Y, and Z, did you listen? Did you understand and did you hear it? Now, people understand we're coming from experiences, but we're coming from our education too. Let's not get it twisted. Okay? Gotta put that out there. Because not only are we experienced, but we also educated in these matters. That's why we went to school for this stuff. All right. So this I had to put it out there for the people now. Understand something. But just know you have to look at all aspects of a
Yes.
relationship.
Mhm.
No matter what the relationship looks like, you have to look at all aspects of it. Because
Yeah.
if there's something broken and it needs to be fixed, you have to know where it went wrong and how it broke in the first place so that you don't break it again.
Right.
So that you don't
Right.
repeat what you had, the last time.
Right. Relationships of all kinds are challenging.
Yes.
Girlfriendships, friendships, all of these are challenging relationships, but there's tools that you have to use in each relationship. Different
Ooh,
tools
them
that
tools.
you have to use. See, I may use a hammer for one thing, but I may need a screwdriver for another.
Woo!
So the same tool may not work for the same ship.
Yeah, I don't mind me. I just like
You
the way
know,
she said that.
it may not work. So, but whatever the tool is that you find, and whatever tool that is, use your tool.
Yes,
Your friend's tool may not work on your marriage.
exactly. Yeah, because all cars are different.
That's right.
When everybody go to change, the oil in their
Right.
car or the tires in their car, they got to use certain things. Everything is different. Everything's not the
That's right.
same. You know what I'm saying?
So
So,
that's it. And so you have to know what tools work for you and your
right,
relationship.
right.
And remember, in any relationship that you get into, marriage, and you're thinking about marriage, remember the 6 people that's going to be standing at that altar.
You, who you are, who he think you are,
There you go.
and who you want to be.
Say who you want to be. And that's it. That's my thing for today. Know who you are
Yeah.
before you enter the relationship, because let me tell you, a man can't make you. You make him. He makes you. And together you make one.
Look now, you guys, this conversation, this discussion is not over because we will continue on next Saturday with talking about the ships in our life because there's a lot of ship going on.
There's a lot of steps going on.
Woo, a lot of ships going on. So understand that we come with love, we come with laughter, and we're coming with life because this is just truly life. Everybody's living in some type of ship, and all ships look different. All ships can use help too. Okay, all ships can use help.
And
So utilize that.
I want to say happy holidays. Hopefully next week we're gonna have our little Christmas theme. Uh,
Ooh.
gonna have some surprises for you next week.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
gonna have some surprises. So just happy holidays. Stay safe. Stay masked. Wear
yeah,
your mask. Wash your hands. use your hand sanitizers if you don't have opportunity to use soap and water.
Yeah.
We want to stay safe for one another. Even though some people say it's not real, let me tell you, I'd rather to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. It's not hurting
Safe
anything.
than sorry. Yeah, I don't want to be caught dead without Jesus. And I don't want to get there because I didn't listen to what people are saying. So it may not be for you, but it may be for someone else. It may be for someone else. Stay safe, stay happy, because this show is about learning, laughing, living, and loving.
We thank you guys for joining MSD Coffee and Tea, Mothers, Sisters, and Daughters Coffee and Tea. Please tune in next Saturday. You can reach us at MSD Coffee and Tea at Gmail. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Watch us on Periscope. What else? What else? What else we got? Did I say everything? I don't know if I said everything. Did I miss something?
Love you too, Elder. Love
We
you.
love you, Eric. We love you. We
Hey, you got
appreciate
to invite us. You got to invite us.
But please follow us. Set up your notifications because you don't want to miss the goodness. Set up your notifications because you will get notified in your YouTube. It'll pop up a link to let you know that we're going live. Facebook is going to let you know we're going live. Instagram, we don't go live on Instagram because they don't do automatic lives like that for what we're doing. But still follow us because we still have an Instagram page. We're gonna set up a Snapchat soon. Soon. So just keep in touch, you guys. If you have questions, if you have suggestions, please inbox us. Please inbox us your questions
Email us too.
and email us. If you guys want to set up us coming out to so we can bless y'all with our presence, please do so. Hey, yes, God. So we can get the people what they want now.
Give the
But
people what they want.
so we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys next Saturday. Thank you for watching MSD Coffee and Tea.
My
Bye.
nail broke. My nail broke.